Sanjay Swaminarayan. Today for Standard 9th Science in the portion of Physics we are going to continue our chapter 9 which was Force and Laws of Motion. The topics that we are going to cover are first one is third law of motion and another one is conservation of momentum. So let us start with our first topic which is third law of motion. The first two laws of motion tell us how an applied force changes the motion of an object and provide us with a method of determining the force. The third law of motion states that when one object exerts a force on another object, the second object instantaneously exerts a force back on the first. Means when an object exerts a force on some other object, then the other object will do the same. It will also exert the force back on the first object. The two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in the direction. This force act on different object and never on the same object. In the game of football, you have seen that while looking at football and trying to kick it with a greater force, it collide with a player of opposite team. And both the player of opposite team as well as the player who is kicking it got hurt because each one of them applies a force to other. In other words, there is a pair of forces and not just one force. The two opposing forces are known as action and reaction forces. Let us take an example. Consider two spring balances that are connected together as shown in figure 9.10. The fixed end of the balance B is attached with a grid support or like a wall. When a force is applied through the free end of spring balance A, it is observed that both the spring balances show same reading on their scales. It is meant that the force exerted by the spring balance A on balance B is equal to opposite in direction to the force that is exerted by the balance B on balance A. It means that the force that is exerted from the side of spring A on spring B will be equal but in opposite direction to the force that is exerted by balance B on balance A. Any of these two forces can be called as action and other as reaction. Means one force is called action and another is the reaction. This gives us an alternative statement of third law of motion, that is, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. However, it must be remembered that the action and reaction always act on two different objects simultaneously. Suppose that you are standing at a rest and intend to start walking on a road. You must accelerate, and this requires a force in accordance with the second law of motion. It is important to note that even though the action and reaction forces are always equal in magnitude, these forces may not produce acceleration of equal magnitude. Even though in case of third law of motion, the action and reaction forces are equal in magnitude, but these forces will not produce acceleration of equal magnitudes. This is because each force acts on a different object that may have different mass. Two objects may having different masses from each other. When a gun is fired, it exerts a forward force on the bullet. The bullet exerts an equal and opposite force on the gun. This results in the recoil of the gun, which is shown in figure 9.11, where recoil of a gun is shown and also the acceleration force that is produced on bullet. Since the gun has much greater mass than that of the bullet, the acceleration of gun is much less than the acceleration of bullet. The third law of motion can also be illustrated when a sailor jumps on a rowing boat. As the sailor jumps forward, the force on the boat will move the boat backwards, as you can see in figure 9.12. Let us do an activity, our activity 9.4. Request two children to stand on separate charts as shown in figure 9.13. Then give them a bag which is full of sand or some other heavy object and ask them to play a game of catch with the bag. They will pass the bag to one another, or they will catch the bags one after another. Does each of them experience an instantaneous force as a result of throwing the sandbag? You can paint a white line on cartwheels to observe the motion of two chats when the children throw the bag towards each other. Now place these two children on one cart and on another cart, means one children on one cart and another children on another cart. The second law of motion can be seen as this arrangement would show different acceleration for the same force. The cart shown in this activity can be constructed by using a 12 mm or 18 mm thick plywood board of about 50 by 100 cm with two pairs of hard ball bearing wheels. Skateboards are not an effective, but it is difficult to maintain straight line motion. So this was the third law of motion. Now we will come to our next topic, which is conservation of momentum. Suppose two objects, say two ball A and B of masses MA and MB, MA for mass of ball A and MB for mass of ball B, are traveling in same direction along a straight line at different velocities, say UA and UB. UA is the velocity of A and UB is the velocity of B respectively, as shown in figure 9.14a, and there are no other external unbalanced force acting on them. Let UA be greater than UB, means velocity of A be greater than velocity of ball B, and the two balls collide with each other as shown in figure 9.14b. During the collision, which lasts for a time t, the ball A exerts a force FAB on ball B and the ball B exerts a force FBA on ball A. Suppose VA and VB are the velocities of the two balls A and B after the collision respectively, as shown in figure 9.14c. From the equation 9.1, which was P is equals to mass into the velocity, the momenta, which is the plural of momentum, the momenta of a ball A before and after the collision are mass of A into velocity of A and mass of A into final velocity of A respectively. The rate of change of its momentum, or say F of AB, during the collision will be mass of A whole multiplied by final velocity of A minus initial velocity of A divided by t. Similarly, the rate of change of momentum of the ball B, which is equals to F of BA, during the collision will be mass of B whole multiplied by final velocity of B minus initial velocity of B divided by time t. According to the third law of motion, the force FAB exerted by ball A on the ball B and the force BA that is exerted by ball B on the ball A must be equal and opposite to each other, and therefore F of AB is equals to minus F of BA, or we can say mass of A multiplied by final velocity of A minus initial velocity of A divided by t will be equals to minus mass of B multiplied by final velocity of B minus initial velocity of B divided by t, and this gives us mass of A multiplied by initial velocity of A plus mass of B multiplied by initial velocity of B is equals to mass of A multiplied by final velocity of A plus mass of B multiplied by final velocity of B, which is our equation 9.7. So F of AB equals to minus F of BA is equation 9.6, and MAUA plus MBUB is equals to MAVA plus MBVB, which is equation 9.7. Since MA, which is mass of A, multiplied by UA, which is initial velocity of A, plus MB, which is mass of B, multiplied by UB, which is the initial velocity of B, is the total momentum of two balls A and B before the collision, and MAVA, which is mass of A multiplied by final velocity of A, plus MBVB, which is mass of B multiplied by final velocity of B, is their total momentum after the collision. Equation 9.7, we observe that the total momentum of the two balls remain unchanged or conserved provided no other external force acts. As a result of this ideal collision experiment, we say that the sum of momenta of the two objects before collision is equals to the sum of momenta of the object after the collision, provided there is no external unbalanced force acting on them. This is known as law of conservation of momentum. This statement can alternatively be given by be given as the total momentum of two objects is unchanged or conserved by the collision. Let us look at an activity which is our activity 9.5. Take a big rubber balloon and inflate it fully, means blow the balloon fully. Tie its neck with a thread. Also use an adhesive tape. Fix a straw on the surface of this balloon. Pass a thread through the straw and hold one end of the thread on your hand or fix it on a wall. Ask your friend to hold the other end of the thread or also fix that end on the wall at some distance. This arrangement is shown in figure 9.15. Now remove the thread that is tied on the neck of the balloon and let the air escape from the mouth of the balloon and observe the direction in which the straws move. Let us see one another activity, activity 9.6. Take a test tube of good quality glass material and put a small amount of water in that test tube. Place a stop cork on the mouth of the test tube. Now suspend the test tube horizontally by two strings or wires as shown in figure 9.16. Heat the tube with a burner until water vaporizes and the cork blows out. Observe that the test tube recoils in the direction opposite to the direction of the cork. Also observe the difference in the velocity the cork appears to have and that of the recoiling test tube. Now we will see an example, example 9.6. According to it, a bullet of mass 20 gram is horizontally fired with a velocity of 150 meter per second from a pistol of mass 2 kg. What is the recoil velocity of the pistol? We have to calculate the recoil velocity of the pistol here. So let us see the answer. We have the mass of the bullet m1 is equals to 20 gram, which is equals to 0.02 kg, and the mass of pistol m2 is equals to 2 kg. Initial velocity of bullet u1 and pistol u2 is equals to 0 respectively. The final velocity of the bullet v1 is equals to plus 150 meter per second. The direction of bullet is taken from left to right, position by convention shown in figure 9.17. Let V be the recoil velocity of the pistol. Total momentum of pistol and the bullet before the fire when gun is at the rest is equals to 2 plus 0.02 kg multiplied by 0 meter per second. And as we have multiplied the equation with 0, our answer will be 0 kilogram meter per second. Now, the moment of pistol and bullet after it is fired is equals to 0.02 kg multiplied by 150 meter per second plus 2 kg multiplied by V, which is our recoil velocity of pistol V meter per second, which will give us answer as 3 plus 2V kilogram meter per second. According to the law of conservation of momentum, total momenta after the fire is equals to the total momenta before the fire, which is 3 plus 2V is equals to 0, which tends to V is equals to minus 1.5 meter per second, means we have 2V, and when we put 3 on the right hand side, we have 2V is equals to 3. Now 2 is in multiplication with V, so when we put 2 on the right hand side, we will get V is equals to 3 by 2 and we will get our answer of recoil velocity of the pistol V is equals to minus 1.5 meter per second. Negative sign indicates that the direction in which the pistol was recoil is opposite to that of the bullet, that is right to left. Now we will see another example, which is example 9.7. So according to it, a girl of mass 40 kg jumps with a horizontal velocity of 5 meter per second on a stationary cart with frictionless wheels. The mass of the cart is 3 kg. What is her velocity as the cart starts moving? Assume that there is no external unbalanced force working in the horizontal direction. So we have to find her velocity when the cart starts moving and assume that there is no external unbalanced force that is working in the horizontal direction. So let us look at the answer of our example. Let v be the velocity of the girl on the cart as the cart starts moving. The total moment of girl and the cat before the interaction is equals to 40 kg multiplied by 5 meter per second plus 3 kg multiplied by 0 meter per second, which will give us answer as 200 kilogram meter per second. Now, the total moment after the interaction is equals to 40 plus 3 kg multiplied by v, which is our assumed velocity of the girl after cat starts moving. So 40 plus 3 kg multiplied by v meter per second, which will give us 43 v kilogram meter per second. According to the law of conservation of momentum, the total momentum is conserved during the interaction, that 43v is equals to 200, and as the 43 is in multiplication with v, when we take the 43 on the right hand side, we will get v is equals to 200 divided by 43, which will give us answer as v is equals to plus 4.65 meter per second. The girl on the cart would move with a velocity of 4.65 meter per second in the direction which the girl jumped, as shown in figure 9.18. So our answer is 4.65 meter per second. Let us see another example, which is our example 9.8. According to it, two hockey players of opposite team, while trying to hit a hockey ball on the ground, collide and immediately become entangled. One has the mass of 60 kg and was moving with a velocity of 5 meter per second, while the other one has the mass of 55 kg and was moving with the velocity of 6 meter per second towards the first player. In which direction and with what velocity will they move after they become entangled? Assume that the frictionless force acting between the feet of the two player and the ground is negligible. Means we have to find that at what velocity will both the player move after they become entangled, and also assuming that the frictionless force acting between their feet and the ground is negligible. So let us look at the answer of it. If v is the velocity of two entangled players after the collision, the total momentum then will be equals to m1 mass of the first player plus m2 mass of the second player multiplied by v, which is the velocity when they got entangled after the collision, which will equals to 60 plus 55 kg multiplied by v meter per second, which will give us 115 multiply v kg meter per second. Now equating the momenta of the system before and after the collision in accordance with the law of conservation of momentum, we get v is equals to minus 30 divided by 115, which will give us answer minus 0.26 meter per second. Thus, the two entangled player would move with the velocity of 0.26 meter per second from right to left, that is, in the direction the second player was moving before the collision. Let the first player be moving from left to right. By convention, left to right is taken as positive direction and thus right to left is negative direction. You can see it in figure 9.19. If symbol m and u represent the mass and initial velocity of the two players respectively, subscript 1 and 2 in these physical quantities refers to two hockey players. Thus, mass 1 is equals to 60 kg, initial velocity is plus 5 meter per second, and mass 2 is equals to 55 kg, and initial velocity of second player is minus 6 meter per second. The total momentum of the two players before the collision will be equals to 60 kg multiplied by 5 meter per second plus 50 kg multiplied by minus 6 meter per second, which will give us the answer as 30 kilogram meter per second. Now let us look at some conservation laws. First is all conservation laws such as conservation of momentum, energy, angular momentum, charge, etc. are considered to be fundamental laws in physics. These are based on observations and experiments. Second is it is important to remember that a conservation law cannot be proved, it can be verified or disapproved by experiments. An experiment whose result is in conformity with laws verifies or substantiates the law, it does not prove the law. Third, on the other hand, a single experiment whose results go against the law is enough to disprove it. Fourth, the law of conservation of momentum has been deduced from large number of observations and experiments. This law was formulated nearly 3 centuries ago. Fifth, it is interesting to note that not a single situation has been realized so far which contradicts with these laws. And sixth is several experiences of everyday life can be explained on the basis of the law of conservation of momentum. So here we end our chapter 9. Now let's look at some quick summary what we have studied in this chapter. So first law of motion, an object continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Second, the natural tendency of the object to resist a change in their state of rest or of uniform motion is called inertia. Third, the mass of an object is measure of its inertia and its SI unit is kilogram. Fourth, force of friction always opposes the motion of the object. Fifth, which was the second law of motion, which states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of the force. Sixth, the SI unit of force is kilogram meter per second. This is also known as Newton and represented by the symbol capital N. A force of 1 Newton produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second on an object of mass 1 kilogram. Seventh, the momentum of an object is product of its mass and velocity and has the same direction as that of the velocity, and its SI unit is kilogram meter per second. Third law of motion, eighth, which was the third law of motion, which states that to every action that is equal and opposite reaction, they act on two different bodies. And the ninth one is, which is final point, in an isolated system where there is no external force, the total momentum remains conserved. So this was a quick summary of what we have studied in chapter 9. So here we have completed our chapter 9. Now we will start our chapter 10 from next session. Thank you.